Why am I rolling over 2 old 401ks into my current workplace plan? Some say I'm doing it for convenience, 3 accounts becoming 1 account, easier to manage. It could be that one of my 401ks has high fees, but I'm doing it primarily for accessibility. The Rule of 55 from the IRS states that in the year you turn 55, you can quit your current job and draw from your current job's 401k plan without penalty. I turned 55 this year and do have a current plan with my current employer, so this is why I'm doing it, for accessibility. Now, a couple of considerations. Under the Rule of 55, I do not have access to old or orphaned 401k retirement plans until I turn 59 and a half. If I tried to access those old plans before 59 and a half, I'd get charged a 10% penalty. So before I stop working at my current job, I'm going to roll over those 2 old 401ks into my current plan. I'm going to stay working until that money actually physically shows up in my current plan. Unfortunately, it's not an electronic transfer and paperwork is involved, and I got into a little bit of trouble with that. So let me tell you how that went. So first I contacted both my current plan provider and my 2 old ones on, hey, what's the procedure here? What do I do? So it turns out that my old 401k plans write a check to my current plan for the benefit of, or FBO, me. So in other words, they write a check and it's to my current plan, and there's a little note on that check that says FBO Ed. Those old plans mail that check to me, but I do not cash that check and I do not sign that check. My job is to now take that check that they mailed me and mail that check onward to my current plan. It's really important that I do not try to cash that check, even if it was made out to me, because I would open myself up to massive taxes and penalties. That check is for my current plan. I mailed the 2 401k checks to my current plan with the recommended supporting paperwork, like last quarter's statement of each of those old 401k plans to prove I had the account, as well as a cover letter that my current plan wanted to send. Although I could have sent it by regular stamped mail, I decided that, hey, this is pretty important, so let's send it priority mail through the US Postal Service. Priority mail is not guaranteed 3 days, but it's essentially 3-day delivery with tracking, so I could track it electronically. 5 hours after I dropped it off at the post office, it was already at the regional distribution center in Massachusetts. And I was like, oh wow, this is gonna get to North Carolina in 2 days. This is awesome. But then the days rolled on, and on day 9, it still was at the Massachusetts distribution center. At that point, who knows what would happen. I started reading Reddit with all kinds of nightmare scenarios about how stuff gets lost, and 6 months later it ends up where it is. I called my 2 orphaned 401k providers and told them to reissue the checks to me. Well, to my address. Obviously, they were still made out to my current provider. They put a stop payment on the originals. I called my current plan and tried to give them the heads up, saying if and when the original checks land or you get them, don't try to cash them because they've put a stop payment on them anyway. And my current plan said, yeah, we really can't do that, but it's fine. We do this all the time. We'll just try to cash them. They'll bounce, whatever, who cares? So that was all done on day 9 of it being stuck in the one of the Massachusetts distribution centers. Meanwhile, 2 days later, on day 11, it magically arrives at a North Carolina distribution center. And I was like, oh, wow, I should have waited a couple days because now it's on the way again. But I acted on the information I had at the time. It could have been stuck there for months. So when the new checks arrive, actually one of them has already arrived at my house. I'm waiting for the second one, and I'll probably use either FedEx or UPS, not the Postal Service, but UPS to resend them. It's quite conceivable that the replacement checks could get there before the originals, because as I'm taking this video, it is now day 17 and the 2 3-day priority mail checks are still at the Charlotte, North Carolina distribution center. Unbelievable. So I should have had more patience. There are safeguards. No one's going to cash the checks. I didn't lose any money. They simply do a stop check, they reissue it. But a bit of a headache, and I probably should have done this a long time ago.